Viola crept down their old rickety stairs. She could hear the children's steady breaths as they slept soundly. Glenn had a rough day, so she didn't wake him. Maybe it was just the wind, but when the sound persisted, she had no choice but to check it out. "Is someone there?" she called. Her heart leaped out of her chest, but when she finally opened the door, it stopped. "Hello, wonderful people. I'm Gail Cruz from Wonderbot Animals. And here is... Family buries a dog hit by a car. 14 hours later, he's standing outside their front door." Before we begin, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification button for more amazing videos. Glenn Maloney always wanted a family. Most men wanted fast cars, late nights, and whirlwind romances, but not Glenn. He was lucky enough to meet Viola Tizzy, the partner of his dreams. Never had he found anyone like her before, smart, funny, and beautiful. He never understood why she had even chosen him. He knew that she was the woman for him, but things moved faster than they had planned. Glenn knew he would eventually settle down with Viola. Never in his life had he met someone who accepted everything he was and everything he wanted to be. He knew that one day, when the time was right, he would propose. He swore to himself that he would give her the life she dreamed of. However, before he got the chance, they were in for a big surprise. When Viola told Glenn that she was pregnant, he was filled with joy. But when the shock wore off, worries settled in. He always wanted a family, but things weren't meant to move this quickly. He had a plan: marriage, house, dog, baby. They skipped everything on the list, and as time went on, he couldn't shake the feeling of doubt. Megan was born with a full head of hair. She was a strong and happy child. Her happiness rubbed off on both her parents. Never had Glenn felt so much love for a human being. He finally understood the meaning of unconditional love. He was sure that he was destined to be a father, but deep down, he knew something was missing. Glenn didn't understand what the problem was. He had a beautiful partner and a healthy child. To have one of those in life is considered a miracle, and he had both. He managed to work hard enough to find them a farmhouse on the outskirts of town with plenty of land for Megan to eventually run around. And when her first Christmas arrived, Viola gave him a gift he never expected. Glenn told Viola he didn't want anything for Christmas. All he wanted was to see his little girl open her presents. So when he found a big box with his name on it, he was skeptical. He pulled the bow off the unwrapped cardboard box to find two big eyes staring at him. His heart stopped. What was this? The Russell Terrier was smaller than Megan that Christmas. They named him Muggsy and watched him mature with their little girl. But as the months passed, Muggsy quickly caught up. Glenn finally understood what was missing from his life. He now had the perfect family, but he forgot how hard it was to raise children. Over the next 4 years, they watched Muggsy grow with Megan. He was there for Viola's second pregnancy, and he met baby Kevin before Megan even got the chance. As time went by, Megan and Kevin outgrew the little terrier. Glenn always wished he could pause life. He wanted his 3 babies to stay young forever. He quickly realized that time would never wait for him or anyone else. Megan was 4 when Glenn's life was turned upside down. He heard the brakes screech outside. Megan and Kevin were sitting happily at the kitchen table, building a gingerbread house. Tinsel and baubles decorated their home. He immediately ran to the window and noticed Muggsy lying on the road. He raced straight to his side. Glenn couldn't believe his eyes. I picked Muggsy up, but he died in my arms. Glenn couldn't conceal his heartbreak. His companion wasn't breathing. Then he discovered Muggsy had no heartbeat. Glenn cried as he rushed to get their beloved animal from his children's sight. When Viola returned home, they dug a grave in the garden and gave him a proper send-off. Little did he know, fate had a different plan. That morning at 3 a.m., Viola was woken by a constant rattling on their front door. Was it a burglar? She grabbed Kevin's baseball bat and crept down the stairs. She looked through the window but couldn't see anyone. Why were knickknackers out so early in the morning? But when she opened the door, she screamed. Glenn raced down the stairs when he heard Viola's cries, but when he reached the bottom, he saw her hunched over a dirt-covered Muggsy. Was he dreaming? Muggsy was covered in dirt and his eyes were bloodshot, he later explained. One look into those eyes and I knew it was him. What was going on? Muggsy's tail wouldn't stop wagging as they drove him to the vet's the next morning. Turns out, Muggsy had been knocked out from the hit and run. After the collision, his heartbeat had slowed to an almost undetectable pace, making it appear he was dead. But Glenn had buried him deep. How did he manage to get out? Russell Terriers were bred to hunt foxes. The small canines could track, locate, and burrow deep to find vermin. Naturally, Muggsy was born a good digger, so when he woke up in a dark space surrounded by dirt, his instincts kicked in. Instead of digging down, he dug up. Had this ever happened before? Glenn was happy his family was finally back together. Although his children were young, they cried with joy when Muggsy returned. Viola couldn't believe their luck. Or was it more than just pure luck? The kids spoiled Muggsy with hugs and kisses. He was even treated to a new toy. But the story didn't end there. Word of Muggsy's story quickly spread around the town. And eventually, papers and magazines across the country were even talking about Muggsy the dog. But the headlines managed to catch the attention of one of the most surprising hosts in America, Oprah, and the world couldn't believe their story. I guess when he woke up in that hole, he just thought it was another old hole, and he dug his way out, not knowing it was supposed to be his grave, Viola explained. Oprah, an avid dog lover herself, shared that she had to have the couple on her show after hearing about their experience. Who knew their story would travel so far? Glenn and his family have viewed their experience as a Christmas miracle. Regardless of what the vets have said, Glenn's still positive that Muggsy stopped breathing that night. He believes that Muggsy just wasn't ready to leave their family yet, which is why he managed to wake up full of life 6 hours after being buried. Was there more to it than the medical explanation? Muggsy has now become famous all over the world, and people are astounded by his story. Some say it was the power of love, others say it was a Christmas miracle. Either way, Glenn, Viola, Megan, and Kevin are delighted to have their family back together. They made sure to get Muggsy some extra gifts that year. But how long was their good luck going to last?